Well, here's hoping this is gonna work. Anyways, this is an old HD7850. This card's from like 2012 or 2011 or something like that. 2 gigs of RAM on it. It's a warrior, this thing. It failed once, no, twice now. And both times I just heated it up in the oven to try and reset the chip. And it worked. But the last time I put it back together, I had to use some real cheap thermal paste on it. So we're just going to go through replacing the thermal paste on the HD7850. So what I'm doing now is just taking these screws out of the back side of it. And that's pretty much all there really is to it. Oh, let's see. With these. So these 4 screws here, gone over there. And pop that off. Whoops. And yeah, you can see the thermal paste that I use. Obviously I used too much, and it actually spread way too far. Oh whoa, that's not good. That's not good at all. All right, well, I don't know if this thing's gonna survive. I sure hope it does. All right. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, this card is next to be just completely replaced. It's not in very good shape. I'm using 99% rubbing alcohol. You could probably get away with like a lower amount. I just wouldn't go any lower than like say 75%. Just as a general rule. Q-tip, and we're just gonna clean this stuff up. Yeah, this is really seriously cheap thermal paste crap stuff. I shouldn't have used it, but it's all I had at the time, and had to get this thing put back together. Oh Jesus, I'm just making a mess of this. That's terrible. It's probably gonna take a lot of these. Oh God. No. No. I really did it to myself the last time I put this thing back together. I even noticed that the stuff that I put on was crappy to boot, and it was actually separating. Like I could see a watery substance beside the harder substance, and I knew that I shouldn't have been using it, but I did anyways because, well, that's all I had at the time. All right, got a shop towel here. And these blue towels, just rip off a chunk of this. Let's clean up that dye. So by rebaking this in the oven, you're not reballing or doing anything with the solder, which is the common misconception that you're melting the solder. You're just melting like part of the chip itself, because according to Rossmann Group, these chips are garbage, and this is definitely the era of chips that were failing. Well, I don't know if I'm really going to get that much cleaner than that, to tell you the truth. Yeah, try and get yours cleaner than that. Going to clean up this as well. Let's see how much of this we can smear off of there with just this. Oh, lots. Yeah, let's do that before attacking it with the alcohol. All right, into the garbage. Take one of these. Clean that up. So when this GPU died, it just, my screen, it was kind of funny, my screen just started to pixelate, and just kind of just crapped out, and then the computer stopped booting. Whenever it had to do anything more than just basic text graphics, when I would try and boot into Windows, it would just cut out completely and just die. So yeah, that was the experience with this. And it did that twice. It crapped out about a month ago, and I just rebaked it in the oven again. And yeah, so when I rebaked it, it was just like this. That's it. None of this stuff melted in the oven. Wouldn't want to do it again. You can see there's some kind of, you know, heat stress marks, discoloration on that. I don't know if you can see that. No, not really. The camera's not really picking it up. But anyways, that piece there is discolored. I could use some contact cleaner on these, but they're actually, yeah, I could use a little bit of contact cleaner on there. So we'll do that. I'm just going to grab some more Q-tips. So for cleaning the contacts, I could just use rubbing alcohol if I wanted to, but I actually have contact cleaner. So here's the contact cleaner I use. It's safe for electronics. It's Deoxit D5. There's several of the D brand or Deoxit brand ones that will work with printed circuit boards. Just gotta kind of fire this stuff into a garbage bag at the same time. I just want to get it onto the end of the Q-tip here. Oh. All right. Doesn't take much of this stuff. The stuff does a really good job. As you can see, a little bit of darkness at the tip of that. It is actually taking off a little bit of crap. I could do the entire board with this, but I'm not going to go through all that pressure, all that hassle, I should say. So, yeah, I can't really see it, can you? Will this camera focus? Is it good enough for that? Yeah, a little bit of darkness came off there. Right. Okay, now, it was definitely dry enough. So what we got here is Arctic Silver. See that? Arctic Silver. Oh man, the autofocus on these cameras is just garbage. Oh, there we go. Just as it. Arctic Silver 5. So I'm gonna use some of that. I'm just gonna put a small amount on, very small amount, since it is a small die. And we're just gonna go with the dot in the center. So there we go. Kind of bothers me. There's a little bit of watery stuff that came out with this too. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna wipe that away. That might just be at the beginning because that's a brand new tube of Arctic Silver. So let's wipe that away. Not really used to seeing this stuff come out all that watery, and that came out really watery. So we're gonna squeeze a little bit of this stuff out. Oh, there we go. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so let's try this again. Let's do this. Beep. Yeah, there we go. That's an actual paste now. Beautiful. All right. All right. Yeah, getting this stuff on your hands is not fun. Pretty sure I got some on my hands. All right. Well, let's put the cap back on that sucker. There we go. So that's a fairly small amount. Hoping that works. So yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory. I'm just gonna plug this sucker back in first. Wire goes like that. There we go. And there we go. There we go. I'm probably just smearing that stuff around so badly right now. More than likely. Anyways. Yeah. Oh no, those holes lined up nicely. Okay. Now, Oh, no, those holes didn't really line up all that nicely, and it's sliding around like crazy. Now, since I don't really care too much about this GPU, and it's going to have to be replaced sometime soon in the future, because the old oven bake trick never works all that long on GPUs. You might get, I think I got 2 years out of this the first time I did it. So I did it the second time, but you just know that the chip's deteriorating further and further. There's problems with it. So I'm putting the Arctic Silver on there in hopes that keeping it cooler will stop any, will slow down its deterioration. I mean, it's still a viable card. You could run most games today on low to medium settings with this card. Most games, anyways. Some of the AAA titles, probably not, but yeah. Tighten that sucker up. Tighten it up. Tighten it up. And tighten that one up. All right. There we go. It's actually pretty clean. All right. Well, hopefully it still works, right? I hope. Anyways. Yeah. Anyways, thanks for watching.